Hello, viewers. Thanks again for another opportunity to be here to present another topic. Today, I have another special topic about how to cost your project. I've gone ahead and done a small office. This is a small office of about 4.4 meters by 3.2 meters. It has the kind of things that you're supposed to do. This is according to your grant. They want you to do floor tiles, do wall painting, gypsum ceiling, and writing as well. How do you cost these projects? Watch and let's do this together. Thank you. Now, whenever you're doing any project costing, you need to have another program that is very important running, and that is Excel. Excel is very important because it does mathematics for you, and this is where I've opened this. We'll need a few things here. Titles, you can have an item. Let's do details. Let's have quantity. That's quantity. We need rate. It's also good to have units, and then the amount. And then we'll need a subheading here. Let's start with the floor. Whenever you're doing any floor costing, the most important thing about a floor is the floor area. Therefore, you'll need to take the floor area of this space. You might use a calculator. Let's say you do. Remember, we are doing the inside measurements. Outside measurements don't matter to us. So if you're doing a calculator, it's 400 minus the 400 to get the size. Then the other side, it's that 200 minus 400. But for me, I use a very special item here. Just click on M on your keyboard to bring the tape measure. Just click on all sides. And from the dialog box that you can see here, we have several things. We have the distance, the angle, the coordinates, the cumulative distance, and the area. Don't get scared by the many numbers under the area. The most important is the first four. For us, that means 14.08. So let's go to our Excel sheet. We write floor tiles. You can be specific depending on the tiles that you need to use. I like using 400 by 400 mm tiles. You also have 600 by 600, but best for very large areas. Quantity is equals to 14.08. Or let's just write them here at the side, 14.08, because we are not done. Go back. Remember, the floor has a skirting, so you need to take the cumulative distance of the walls. So I'll start from this corner. Remember, where the door is, you don't put in the skirting. Just go around, click, up to here. And you can see from our cumulative distance, this is in millimeters. If you divide by 1,000, you get it's 14.3 meters. And after so many calculations, in order to convert this into square meters, you divide by 1,000, you get 1.43. So come here, 1.43, get the sum, you get 15.51. For purposes of breakage, I always add a percentage. So in most cases, I do a 5%. So the total number of square meters will be equals to this. You multiply by 105%, which is the same as 1.05. So you get 16.28, and to be realistic, convert this to 16.5. Now units, remember we are talking of meter square. Either write M2 or for some like that. The rate is dependent on the country that you live in. For us who live in Kenya, I know tiles that are 400 by 400 go to roughly about 1,000 shillings. Good quality tiles, and therefore the amount is this multiply by the quantity. You add the zeros for accounting purposes. Now that's the floor tiles. What else is needed for the floor tiles? We need grout. Floor grout. The floor grout, in most cases, we do 10 square meters per every kg. And for us, we have 16.5, and we have saying 10. So you subdivide. This will be this figure, divide by this figure to give you 1.65, and that makes it 2 kgs of grout. And the rate per kg for us in Kenya, the best one, you can go for 150. So again, multiply this by this. After we've done the floor grout, we need floor cement. For most of us, we do the normal cement, or you can do the tile adhesive. Use of cement is dependent on the floor, how it looks like. If it's rough, it will eat more cement. If it's smooth, you'll use less. For rough floors, we do 3 square meters per bag. For smooth floors, we do 4 square meters per bag. So I'll just go with a smooth floor. That means 4 square meters per bag. So again, it will be the square meters that we have divide by 4. You can't have 0.125 a bag, so make it 5 bags. In Kenya, the cost of cement currently it's about 650. Multiply. Then the other thing that we need is rebar to put the tiles. And this is calculated per square meter. So we have 16.5. That is square meters. The rate currently is 300 per square meter. So multiply. And then you can add these up. I think we've done everything. We have the floor tiles, the grout, the cement. We also need spacers. Spacers are used for spacing out the tiles. If you're not doing zero joint, you do spacers. And for such a small of space, we need 2 bags, each retailing at 200, and that's the price. Now get the total for the space, and this gives you equals, do sum into bracket, close the bracket. That's the total for floor tiling. Let's have a subheading here. Floor tiling. That is done. Let's now do the wall painting. For wall painting, several steps need to be done. You'll start with the skimming of the walls. You'll do skimming with some sort of white paste to make it smooth and also seal any blemishes or holes or anything that looks bad on the walls. And again, we work with square meters. Come to our wall. Our wall again will be calculated from here. Go there. Go there. And you can see we have 15.2. That's the length. Go to the wall here. 15.2. Our height, you can see, is 2.78. 2.78. Get the area. The area is equals to this, multiply by this, and you're getting 42.256. Now, this includes even the doors. You are not doing any skimming on the doors. So you'll have to remove the area for the door, the windows, to get the actual area that we need. Each window is 1.4 by 1.8. So come here. Let's do it just here. 1.8 multiply by 1.4 multiply by 2. This gives us that 5.04, and our door is 0.9 multiply by 2.4. Must always put an equals, and this gives you that. So the actual is equals to the total minus these two items. So it's that 5.056. Again, I like doing an addition. I'll do a 5%. This is equals to this multiplied by 1.05. In essence, we are talking of that 7 square meters. Come here. Again, write wall painting. Come here and decide the things that you need. For wall painting, you'll need the skimming paste, you need the paints, the undercoat, the brushes, and the rubber. We can write them here. For us, we use Gyproc. It's called Gyproc skimmer. You need the undercoat. You need the final paint. You need the brushes, roller. If the space is big, you do use rollers. And then you need sandpaper. Let's do the Gyproc. This will do in terms of bags. 1 bag of Gyproc does skim 25 square meters. Come here, divide the square meters, divide by 25. That tells you you need 2 bags. So write 2 bags. The price currently in Kenya is 1800. Multiply this. Undercoat. Undercoat comes in 20 liters, and one is able to do 74 square meters. So this is very little, but it's always good to buy in large quantities. So do 1. This is container, 20 liter container. The current price, depending on which one you're buying, I like using Dura or Crown. You do 4200. So it's equals to this, multiply by 1. Final paint. 1 4 liter of the final paint does 18 square meters, one tin, and have that 6. That tells you we need 2 4-liter tins, and this is currently retailing at 2400. Multiply this by this. Brushes, this is dependent on a person. If I'm doing such a space, I'll just buy 2 brushes. One will be a 6-inch and a 4-inch or a 3-inch because of the door and the window grills number, and each of them I'll give it a price of 300. In order for us not to keep doing the multiplications, I have a better way of making this auto. Come to this first title and drag from this corner here like this. You can see the total has just come automatic. Roller is for applying the paint, just need one number. A good roller goes for 400, and that's the price. Sandpaper, this one is also dependent on your own observation. Like for this space, I can use 10 foot, will be okay. Just buy 10 feet of this at a price of 30 per foot, and you spend 300. And then we need ribbon. This is done per square meter, so we had 37 square meters. Depending on your fundi or your painter, the rates vary, and so far the best I've used is 150 per square meter. Comes to that. Let's see whether we've forgotten anything. We have gyprock, undercoat, finer coat, brushes, roller, sandpaper, and we are good to go. Again, let's get the total. Is equals to sum. That's the price. Now let's do the ceiling. The ceiling is composed of gypsum. So there will be the actual construction of the gypsum and also the painting works for this. So we come here to our project. Let's look at our gypsum. This is the design that we have. We have an overhead. We have a ceiling that is at the sides and another at the center, and this dropped ceiling here, and then the wooden struts. Basically, as you can see, most of it is like a flat ceiling with very minimal verticals. So if I did the whole area as a flat and add a small percentage to cater for the verticals are these that rise up, I would have done the calculation for the ceiling. Our ceiling area is the same as our floor area. Let's do it again for confirmation purposes. Use M. (14.08). Come here. 14.08. That is the total area of our ceiling. Each gypsum is 8 by 4, which translates to 2.44. They always add a bit. 2.44 by 1.24. Multiply this equals to 2.44 by 1.24, and it gives you this area. Once you are given this, you only need to subdivide. So come here, divide this by this, and this gives you 4.65 boards. Come here and write gypsum boards. And remember, for ceilings, because we don't want a heavy gypsum, we use 9 mm. For walling, you do 12 mm. 9 mm boards, we need 5. But because we have the verticals, we can do a 0.5% increase. This is equals to this multiplied by 1.05. Now let's do it to our area first. Our area is this multiplied by 1.05. So it comes to this, and then divide this by the board area. So we are still getting 5. But to be on the safe side, let's do 6 boards. 6 boards. Each board currently in Kenya is retailing at 900. So, okay, this multiply by this, that you get. Gypsum ceilings need what we call channels. Channels are metallic struts that are used to hold the gypsum. So how do you calculate the number of channels that we need? What we normally do is, to be on the safe side, we do 4 channels per board, and you have 6 boards. So multiply 6 by 4 gives you 24 channels number, and the channel per price in Kenya currently is 20 shillings. Drag here. Then we have gypsum screws. If you're using 9 mm gypsum boards, the best screw would be 1.5 so that it can stick nicely. Here you need just a box, and a box is 1,000 pieces, going for 700. After this, you need rubber, gypsum construction. I'm looking at this to see whether I've forgotten anything. Gypsum boards, channels, screws, we are good to go. Rubber. We have about 15 square meters. Let me convert to say 15 square meters. And the price per square meter in Kenya for gypsums is about 500. We are done with the construction of the gypsum. We go into the actual painting of the gypsum. You need what we call fiber tape. Fiber tape is used to where 2 gypsums join, so that when you apply the gyprock skimming, it doesn't come off after some time. So for such a space, you may need only one number, and the price is 400. You need, we forgot a very important thing here, up here. You need cornices. Cornices are decorative elements that are used between the ceiling and the walls. So we need to cross-check and see that is the linear space. Cumulative distance is 15.2. So we are putting 15.2. 15.2 is the cumulative distance. Each cornice is 2.4. So is equals to this divided by 2.4. That means we need 7 cornices. The price of cornice currently is 200. Then, as already indicated, we are going to the painting, so you can just copy this upper part. We need all of this. Only the quantities will vary. Gyprock. We talked of 25 square meters per one bag, and we have 14, so it means one gyprock. Undercoat is 74 square meters per one, and our area is just 24. So we can decide for the undercoat, we don't buy for this space because whatever I'm using for the walls will still remain. So delete this. Final paint. For ceilings we use matte paint, so we have to buy a different color. So the same at 18 per 4 liters, and we have 14 here, so that means 1 tin will be okay. Brushes we don't need to buy, no point. Roller we still use what we have. Sandpaper can just add like 5 foot, and rubber we have 15 square meters. That will be the cost of rubber for this ceiling. And basically we are done. Get the total. Let's see, we drag this. That's the total for ceiling. And wall painting, we forgot one item. We didn't remember to include gross paint. Let me write here, final paint. This is silk paint. Final paint here, this is matte paint. And then we add under this, we'll add gross paint for doors and windows. And the area is too small, just 1 4 liter is enough. 4 liter tin. The current price for this is 2700. You can increase the rubber a bit. Remember, each door is 0.9 multiplied by 2.4 and times 2 sides. That's already 4 square meters. You may not be able to calculate for the windows well, but if you did double this, you'll have gotten the whole square meters for the windows and the door. So make this 8 square meters. Now if you double this is 8.64. Let's add 9. That makes it 246. Then come to writing. Go back to our floor plan. We call these downrights. You can see we have 5 of them. So right here, downrights. We always write energy saving downrights. We have 5 number. For a good shop that sells well, I know you can get somewhere at 400. I won't say where. Multiply by here. If you need that information, ask me. Let's go to 3D. Oh, and we forgot to make these struts. We need the quantities for this. We'll do them. You see under the struts we have rights here. I haven't put them, but you can see these holes. These are rights. And we call these spotlights. So we need 5 spotlights. Energy saving spotlights. 5. I know I can still get them at 400 somewhere. Drag this. We need cable. For cables, whenever you're doing rights, we normally use what you call the 1.5. Should be millimeters. So 1.5 twin with earth, and the cable cable, and this comes in rolls. One would do, although you have some remaining for other projects. And the current price per cable per roll has gone to 12,500. We need a switch, single switch, one number, and that's 400. From here, you need accessories. When you talk of accessories, we are talking of cable trenching. You need to cut the wall so that you can put your pipes inside. You need tower crates, tapes, screws, and in these cases we need just a lump sum. So do a lump sum. Oh, sorry, I'm doing in the wrong place. A lump sum. Here we can do 3,000 shillings, not much. Then include labor. It's not easy to quantify these kind of jobs, but from experience, most electricians for such a small space will charge you 5,000 shillings. And then that's it. You get the total. Is equals to sum of this. Now let's go back to our ceiling. The next item that we need to consider that was forgotten is these wooden struts here. We need to know the sizes and the number of bolts that you need. We'll need the vertical, the base for each. So come here. From the floor plan, you see we can't be able to see exactly where this thing is. So what we normally do is, let me just remove the floor so that I can be able to catch, or let me do it from here. Select the ceiling, go back to the object settings, and from our GDL, you see, if you use model wire, so let's copy per each. Let's do it here. Model, so that we can see the actual ceiling. Good. It has helped us to see everything. So we need to determine the length of each. It's that. The depth I need is 150. So those are the sizes. I'll come here, determine using a board. A board is 2440 by 1240. Come here. Each part is 2010 by 136. That's each part. So this is the bottom part. We need how many bottoms? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Copy this, put it there 5 times. Then we have the verticals. The vertical part, that's the height of each, is again 20, 10, 150. Each has 2 verticals. That's this one and this one. So we need 10 verticals. Sorry, it's this one. We need 10 verticals. 1, 2, 3. May not fit, so go to another board. We've done 3, we need 7 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then we have the end cap on either side, which is 136 by 150. Each has two end caps, one on this side, one on the other. So 2 times 5, 10. Can decide to use this top part. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So basically you'll need 2 boards to make those struts, and here we are using plain MDF. For you to do a better job, you'll need plain MDF and then coat on top with a Formica. Come here, under sealing finishes, let's introduce under here. Write 18, or you can use 12 mm. Let's do 18, it's stronger. 18 mm plain MDF boards. These are 2 number. The price for plain MDF is quite expensive, it's 4,000. And then Formica, you can use 3 mm. 3 mm Formica of your choice, any color that you want. This will still be the same as the boards, so 2 number. Currently the price is about 1,800. To attach the Formica to the plain MDF, you need glue. A 4-liter would work. 4-liter tin, retailing at about 4,500. And then you need rebar for these wood struts. Wood struts, 1 sum. Here you charge per sum. So what I would normally do is give a percentage of the total cost of the items. The total cost of the items is 16,100. Give about that 5%. This is equals to this. Now let me do sum of this up to there. That's the total. So we need that 5%. Get that 5% of this is equals to this. Multiply by this. Gives you 5,635. And then get the total cost. That's okay. We finished with everything that we wanted. So we need a summary page. Summary page. We have floor finishes, floor tiling, wall painting, ceiling finishes, and then writing. Oh, didn't write here. Writing. So let's get a total for each. Is equals to floor tiling is this, wall painting is this, ceiling finishes is this, and then writing is that. Get a total is equals to sum get a total of this. So that's the total cost for that space. And then add markup. Markup. I like doing a 60% markup. And then get a total again. And then add the statutory government taxes. So VAT in Kenya is 16%, is equals to this times this, then the grand total equals to this plus the VAT. So the final cost for this project would be 227,000. Depending on your client, you may decide to work with the markup. If it's a person who has retro means, you can go to as retro as 35%. But depending on if they have a lot of means and you can see your client is capable of giving you more money, you can even go to 100%. Thanks a lot for listening to me. Subscribe and let's share so that I know the next project that I can work on. Thank you. Be blessed. Have a nice day. Thank you.